Think paired presence. 15 psychological facts about humans. Have you ever wondered why we sometimes act irrationally? Psychologists also play an important role in healthcare by caring for people who are suffering from mental illnesses, providing psychotherapy, researching treatment options, and teaching patients how to manage their symptoms effectively. Now, let's begin. Number 1. Social media is psychologically designed to be addictive. You promise to check your Facebook notifications right away, but 15 minutes later, you're still scrolling. You are not alone. Infinite scroll plays a role in some of that because it prevents your brain from receiving the stop message when you can browse a website without actually interacting and clicking. Number 2. Plan B raises the probability that Plan A will fail. Our chances of success with Plan A are lower if we have a Plan B. Researchers at the University of Pennsylvania examined volunteers' performance on a certain job and discovered that those who considered a backup plan performed worse than those who didn't. Additionally, they discovered that participants' motivation diminished when they became aware of their other options. Expectancy theory, which Victor H. Vroom created in 1964, is connected to this. According to expectation theory, whether you expect to succeed at something affects your drive for it. A backup strategy assumes that you won't be successful the first time. Researchers caution against becoming too mired in the specifics, but stress the need of planning ahead. You can unintentionally be hindering your progress. Number 3. Yawns could strengthen our bond. You've only just started your workday and are eager to accomplish a lot. During your morning meeting, you are seated at your desk when the person next to you yawns loudly and annoyingly. You soon find yourself yawning for no apparent reason. You're not even tired, though. That's a yawn in response. There are several ideas as to why yawns spread, but one of the most popular ones is that they show empathy. This explains why young kids who haven't yet mastered empathy or those with autism spectrum disorders are less likely to respond by yawning. Number 4. Middles are harder to remember than beginnings and ends. Have you ever gone shopping for groceries and forgotten your shopping list? You may imagine them and remember information that is towards the start and end when attempting to remember anything without them. However, the middle parts are a little hazy. This was confirmed by research published in Frontiers of Human Neuroscience. The serial position effect is what it is known. This explains why you might recall your manager's presentation's conclusion, but not its middle. Therefore, you might not actually have ADHD, and it really is a problem. Number 5. One negative thing must be outweighed by 5 positive factors. You may have heard that it's a good idea to express your gratitude at the beginning and end of each day. As a result of our so-called negativity bias, which causes us to concentrate on the negative rather than the positive, this keeps us in a balanced state. It serves no purpose to dwell on your problems or the things that make you unhappy. Aim for a life where there are 5 positives and 1 negative. You might be able to create something amazing. Number 6. Food tastes better when someone else makes it. Ever wonder why your mother's cooking always tastes better? In reality, if the cook is good, food always tastes better when it is prepared by someone else. The reason behind this, according to researchers, is that when you prepare a meal for yourself, by the time you're ready to eat, it's been so long that it's become less interesting, which makes you enjoy it less. Number 7. We want to break more rules when one seems too strict. People sometimes transgress more laws when they believe that some freedoms are being restricted in an effort to reclaim the freedoms that they believe have been taken away, which is a psychological phenomenon known as reactance. The best examples of this come from teenagers. In addition to the possibility of sneaking away when grounded, people might also turn to other risky actions as a sort of reaction. Number 8. We unintentionally believe ideas we wanted to accept. The tendency to interpret facts in a way that supports our pre-existing beliefs is known as confirmation bias. This explains why followers of particular political ideologies favor particular news sources over others. Never mind attempting to influence Uncle Fred's opinion on foreign relations. Not only does confirmation bias cause us to look for data that supports our preconceptions, but we also reject information that is contrary to what we already believe. Number 9. Memories are less accurate and more like jumbled up pictures. False memories are things you think about but aren't genuinely aware of, either entirely or in part. An illustration would be thinking you started the dishes before leaving for work, but you didn't. This is due to the fact that when merely remembering the broad strokes of what occurred, our brains occasionally fill in the spaces incorrectly. Number 10. People rise to our high expectations and don't rise if we have low ones. High expectations boost performance, according to the psychological phenomenon known as the Pygmalion effect. In a well-known study from the 1960s, researchers informed teachers that certain random pupils had great potential based on their IQ test results. They discovered that, at least in part as a result of their professors' higher expectations, those kids who were rated as having high potential actually ended up becoming high achievers. Number 11. Long-term deadlines. They aren't as important to us as we think in our brain. Yes, you could begin that significant project for work or school right now, but you still have a few months to go. Before you know it, those months have passed, and you're rushing to do tasks that should have taken months in only a few days. Unimportant things that are urgent are more enticing. They provide you immediate satisfaction because they take less time and are simpler to do. Short-term deadlines, like those defined in days, are easier for our brains to process than long-term ones, like those measured in months or years. Number 12. We aren't as good at multitasking as we think we are. According to research in the Journal of Experimental Psychology, even when you think you're multitasking, you're actually just moving between the two tasks fast and concentrating on just one at a time. It makes sense why it's so challenging to listen to your partner while browsing Instagram. Number 13. Loneliness has a negative impact on our health. Researchers discovered that levels of the blood-clotting protein fibrinogen are greater in people with fewer acquaintances. Having 15 pals instead of 25 was equally as horrible as smoking since the effect was so potent. Number 14. If you've taken a test on anything, you'll remember it better. I'm sorry, kids. The fact that testing actually works is one of the most practical psychological realities. According to research in the journal Psychological Science, people are more likely to retain material in their long-term memory if they have had multiple opportunities to test it. The more, the better, as opposed to if they are just studying and don't need to recall it right away. Number 15. We are confident that the future is bright. Whether you like your current situation or not, most people have an optimism bias that leads them to believe that the future will be better than the present. This belief is supported by studies published in Current Biology. We believe we'll advance professionally, never get divorced, have adorable children, and live to a ripe old age. There's no wrong in dreaming, even if none of those are possible for everyone. Which of these human behaviors caught your attention? Do you know of any further mind-blowing psychological facts about human behavior? Do you have any further astounding psychological information concerning human nature? Please post your comments in the comments section.